Yo, what's up guys? The Phantom Armor, and now that I'm done listening to Eminem, we're gonna get into this deck profile. So I've tested this deck pretty minimally, so you probably might want to change it around, but either way, Geargia Stun returns. So I think this deck is really cool because I think this format, any deck that can play Necro Valley is actually pretty good. The only problem is against Cosmo, Necro Valley is a really good card, but having to pop their ship's quite a problem. Their ships, so over Gravekeepers, I chose to play Geargia, mainly because this deck can play more floodgates, can play more aggressively, and just plays probably overall better cards outside of like Descendant. If Geargia had a Descendant, that'd be insane. So this is not using the new support because the new support is terrible. Anchor's terrible, and Change is only good if you're playing like some kind of weird Karakuri build that can play Change. Either way, those two cards both take massive setups in which this deck doesn't want to do. Like, Yugioh in general, their boards are going to get cleared very fast. And if you have an Anchor set, your opponent's going to kill your whole board, then attack into the Anchor, because that's the smart play. Or you're not even going to be able to target monsters. So that's why I feel that card is terrible. And then, of course, Change, you need to have 2 level 3s in Grave, which means if you open it and without a Geargia gear, it's terrible. If you open it without, like, level 3s, drawing it late game is the only time where it could be good. And at that point, why would you want to rank 3? So we're not just playing the new support, we're playing this instead. And I think this build is pretty optimal, and I really like it. So we're playing double Augur. Augur is a pretty good card by the fact like that, you know, it's kind of insane being able to just turn 1, go for this, get your dude. Either get another copy so you can play the leader, or just get any other card in any other machine type in your deck, which is really good. We're playing triple armor. So the triple armor, I don't know, it's really slow, but of course we play so many cards to protect this that it's always going to get a flip. I'm playing triple arsenal. This card is really flexible. It can get you to so many different cards. Of course, really good. Still playing triple accelerator. When you don't open Augur, this is a really good turn 1 play. That's why we're playing him. And then finally, also like, if your opponent doesn't know how to play around this deck and they Veiler the Augur and you have this in hand, you can just kind of punish them for that play. So you can just summon this guy. We're playing triple MK2. Obviously, you have to play 3 of this guy and then 1 of the Geargiano. Geargiano isn't that relevant in this build because we're playing triple Necro Valley, so Geargiano's probably not going to come back. He's probably not going to get specials on him. But either way, I think like these 4 are really good. And being able to like just Geargia gearing into any of these guys is really good. So and that's why we just play them. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be playing anything but the Geargiano. So pretty standard Geargia engine. And then for the last 2 monsters, we're playing something weird. We're playing double Jowgen. And so if you don't know my channel, I actually really like Jowgen lately. I think Jowgen's a really cool card. It was either Jowgens or Dark Golds, and I felt like Jowgens were better because like essentially in this deck you have 4 cards you're probably never going to want to draw, and you're just going to search the MK2s when you really need them. So you can just, if you have it with like Geargiano, you can discard the Geargiano and then blow up the whole board. And if you have Necro Valley at that point, that's really good. But either way, I think these are like, right now, these are really cool. And like, of course, against Monarchs, this card's like, it's not good to clear the board, but if you can play this turn 1 and like find some way to protect it, like, if you really think about it, your opponent needs Eos to out this card. Otherwise, they really can't play. Like, it's really interesting because they can't Mithra, they can't Prime, and they can't Idea. So I'm not saying like special summoning, or all they have to do is Eos Stormforth, or like Stormforth and play a small Monarch, which doesn't happen too much, or like a Fiend, which doesn't happen too much. But either way, this card's still pretty good. And I find that it's really cool with Necro Valley against Cosmo. Moving on, we're playing the, going into spells, we're playing triple Necro Valley. This card is insane. I don't know when, like, I think most rogue decks that can play this card should be playing this card, because it's that good. Of course, like, it doesn't allow us to play cards like Call of the Haunted and Instant Fusion, however, we're siding those cards in case we ever want to side this out, because this card is not very good against, I think it's good against everything. It's pretty good. It's just for rogue decks, you want more, or other rogue decks, you want more power rather than this a lot of the time. Unless this is really good against that rogue deck. But either way, triple Necro Valley is really good. I was thinking about playing 2 and then a Commandant, but I felt like I never wanted to be against a deck this is good against. I never wanted to be normal summoning a commanded when I didn't have Necro Valleys, and that was like a huge problem, I thought. So I just wanted to play the 3 Necro Valley. All 3 first dead too. Ooh, they're just not supers. Damn. A double chalice. You can do a lot of shit with this. Like, you can Veiler, or you can chalice your own Jowgen, go off, and then on your opponent's turn you still have the Jowgen, and your opponent also has to deal with your board, which is like really cool. Or you could use the effective Jowgen, blow up your opponent's board, on like say you're playing against Cosmo, Necro Valley, Jowgen, and then like activate Chalice on it and then keep going. Of course, that's assuming your opponent didn't kill the Jowgen, which probably wouldn't happen. Like normal some of the Jowgen, flipping armor or something, stuff like that, definitely could happen. And then like of course double Chalice is like stuff like that. Like just it's really good going. The thing about it is like it's really good going first, and then going second you can just use it on the Dark Witch, and then your opponent's Dark Witch just doesn't do anything. They can banish it, of course, as cost to special summon their dude. But outside of that, like it's not doing anything for a while, so that's why this card's really good. And of course, this format, your opponent has to preemptively drop the Dark Lady, so you can't just like normal summon something and then get its effect off. So, double Chalice. Those are the 5 spells we're playing. We're not playing very many spells. I think we're playing like 16 monsters. But either way, we're going into the traps. We're playing a lot of them. Triple Gear, really good. Triple Fiend's Chain, also really good. Triple Rivalry, so this is a chain like I made for my last profile. No, I think I still played all these 5. So we're playing 5 of these. These cards are like really, really good. So again, with Gozen match, it's really good against DA because they can't make Dante. Because if you don't know how the ruling works, is when your opponent would use them to overlay, they can't because the monsters are still technically on the field up until the XYZ summon happens, and since it's inherent, it doesn't start a chain, so they technically don't leave the field, and they're still on the field when the monster would be summoned. So that's like kind of a dumb ruling, but I guess it works, which is really good. 2 of the most confusing cards in the game. And then of course, the Cosmo ruling where if they banish out, they have to summon a monster of the same, like, either type or attribute, because the monster's still on the... I don't know how that one works, but it works. And then also these are really good against Pendulum decks, because right now they're playing tons of different engines so that their decks can actually operate. And still, like, these were always good against Draco Pals and stuff. And then also these are, like, also pose an advantage against a lot of rogue decks right now, because they're trying to play more engines, or really they should just be playing more floodgates. Honestly, like, these 5 are really, really good. And I feel like, honestly, like, I'd be playing these, I'd be playing this in any deck I can. And of course, they're easy side outs too, if they're not good. Like, the only matchup these are not good against is, like, what is it called? Mermails. And I'd still keep these 2 in, because, like, all of their water monsters are different, like, attributes. Or, no, not attributes, what am I saying? Types. So, yeah, I think those 5 are really good, and you should be playing them in any deck you can. Playing double Mirror Force, because, like, board removal is really good. I don't want to play Storming. I probably should get Rippling Mirror Forces. Because a lot of the time your board's going to get cleared and you're going to get attacked directly, and you just got a Rippling. So, that's why. Double Starlight Road. This card is really cool because then it makes you immune to Twin Twister, and that's what we really want to do. We're playing Starlight Road because it gives you the Stardust. And even if you're, like, under, like, something like Necro Valley, it's still cool to stop destruction, and it gives you more than Offering of the, what is it called? The Huge Revolution is over. It gives you more than that. So, like, even if you have, like, Rivalry or Gozen, it's going to be better in a situation where you don't have Rivalry or Gozen. So, that's why these are cool. Yeah, and then Time Space, Bottomless, and then Solemn. I wanted just 1 of each, just for, like, why not? Of course, Solemn's really good, Bottomless is really good, and then the Time Space was, like, for Pendulum decks, as well as Cosmo. But I didn't want to play, like, deep, what is it called? Deep Dark Trap Hole, because that's only good against Cosmo, and I just wanted a card that was generically good. So, yeah. That's the main deck. 41 cards because I couldn't fit it in 40. I'm going to go to the side deck first because the extra deck doesn't make sense without the side deck. So we're playing double Fire Hand, double Ice Hand. These are really good against Monarchs, and I just wanted a way to kill Monarchs, because Monarchs is a particularly bad matchup. Cyber Dragons. This card is really, really cool. because of course like it adds board pressure, which this deck highly lacks, and it also develops of course it's really good against Cosmo because you can clear their ships without having to invest like Jowgen, Necro Valleys. You don't have to open the nuts for this to be good. So that's why this guy's cool. We're playing one Bulb. Bulb is for Melier. We have a Melier in our extra deck because I couldn't fit any more cards in the side deck. So Melier could just send it, and it's really good for that reason. Being able to send the Glow Bulb is really powerful. And also Melier is an Earth, so when we have Gozen matchup, we can just make it. And then this can help us make Adapties when we need it, in the matchups that we need it. Twin Twisters, Instant Fusions. We're siding Twin Twisters for backward deck, and then we're siding Instant Fusions in case we want to side out Necro Valleys. And we're also putting the Norden in our extra deck because I had more room in the extra deck than I thought I did. And then double Imperial, and then double Call of the Haunted for the same reason as the Instant Fusions, when you just need to side out the Necro Valleys. And then of course the Imperials are just more overkill for Cosmo, and I definitely wanted that. That's like something I really liked with this deck. I just wanted to be able to just floodgate my opponent out, and then like play my own cards. Because this deck is mainly meant to beat Cosmo and Monarchs. Every other matchup you're probably gonna lose game one. Outside of like you're probably gonna win a lot of the meta deck matchups because like you have so many ways to beat them. However, like against a lot of rogue decks, you're probably gonna lose game one unless all 8 floodgates in main are really good against them. So yeah. Norden, Chimera Tech, these two are for the extra deck cards, or the side deck cards, obviously. Beast, same thing. Stardust for the Starlight Road. These guys. I really like this guy because one, he's a machine, which like works with the deck, and then also he can pop your own floodgate, so you can make cooler plays, which is really interesting. As well as he can pop other players' cards, and he can also just be a defensive card. As well as like I said, he's a machine, so you don't have to play Zen mains. Melier is of course either the Earth or a or just a way to make nappies, which is really important against some matchups. So yeah, and then we're playing Dweller. I probably want to put in a second one. I just have to find the room. Diamond Dire, Castel, Anarch, triple Geargigant, because in a build where you're playing like 5 floodgates that essentially restrict you from half your extra deck, you kind of gotta play these guys, or you kind of gotta play, what is it called? You kind of gotta play 3 of this guy because this is normally the only card you can make, so that's why he's cool. And then of course we're playing Utopic Future. Of course with the Diamond Dire, it allows you to pop cards when you have Gozen matchup, because normally the problem with this deck is like when you have Gozen match, you normally you can't get over 2300. Like you're like BA with the Dante thing, except only with Gozen match and with 2300, which is much lower. Your opponent could just like summon a Monarch and you'll be like, oh shit, it didn't matter even how you did that. It's just like I can't kill the Monarch now because now they have a constant flow of like Aethers or Urbises or whatever. Probably Aether, considering you can't tribute summon like through Gozen 2, because the monsters are still considered to be there up until the tribute summon monster summon. It's a lot of weird rulings, but like the thing is like you can't get over the 2300 threshold. So I wanted to play like a card like Gemini Pearl, just so I could deal more damage. Well, I don't think Gemini Pearl would be necessary, but like another really big machine, level 4 dude. I don't know if there is one, but I just kind of wanted to play one so that I could like not die to really big monsters. So yeah, but honestly, like with the Grand Pulse, you can just pop your own rivalry and then just go for game from there, or out the big threat that you had to. And he's really cool like that. I wanted to play Trapstone, so you could like Trapstone your own stuff, like make like something, but then your whole board would get nuked the very next turn. So like that's not very good. Also, like resolving one of these, I've been talking a lot, but like resolving one of these against Monarchs is really good, and then stacking an Necro Valley on top of that is even better. So like essentially this deck just kind of wants to go first and kind of just wants to win the game pass there. I should probably side a lot of cards to go second, but that's also why we're just playing Jowgen, just a really flimsy card that can just kind of just win you the game. Also, Jowgen being a body has won me a couple of games where it's just like your opponent can't play through it, and I have noticed Jowgen is like really good against Psy frames. you summon this guy, it's like, how do they kill it? They need a wind-up rabbit, and at that point you can just, they keep running into your triggers, but at that point you can just, like, do some stuff with, like, goes-ins and rivalries and a lot of stuff. And you have to, like, solo morning every rabbit you see, because otherwise the rabbit's gonna kill you. And even outside of that, you can just, like, play, like, an armor or something big like an arsenal and just kill him with that. But, I don't know, I kind of was thinking of siding Flying Seas so that you could, because I don't have Drifting Winds, and there's no, like, no room in the side, or the extra deck. But, I was thinking of siding Flying Seas, but honestly, I felt like the card was just only good against one matchup. And I wanted cards that were good against multiple matchups, and I wanted cards that I could just side in, like these 6, whenever I really just needed another card, or like these guys, you can just side on when you need more cards, or floodgates are not good. But either way, thank you all for watching, and yeah, this is the Phantom Armor signing out. See you all, peace.